They tell you that money cannot buy happiness, and they are right. But what they don't tell you is that money buys reality. It buys isolation from the consequences of the world. It buys time. It buys control. Most people think of wealth as a single finish line. You get rich and you are done. But wealth is a ladder, and every time you climb a rung, the world fundamentally changes its shape. These are the 7 levels of wealth and what it actually costs your soul to reach the top. Level 1, the illusion of freedom. You are making between $150,000 and $300,000 a year. You are what Wall Street calls a Henry, high earner, not rich yet. This is where you first feel like you beat the system. You drive a brand new Tesla Model 3 or a loaded Audi Q5. You wear a Patagonia fleece in the winter and an Apple Watch Ultra. You live in a luxury high-rise downtown or a pristine 4-bedroom house in the best school district. You fly commercial, but you have Delta Medallion status. You bypass the long security lines. You eat an $18 sweet green salad for lunch and you don't even look at the price. Your friends from high school think you are incredibly wealthy. You post vacation photos from Tulum or the Amalfi Coast. But here is the dark secret of level 1. You are completely trapped. You have a massive mortgage. You have car payments. You have private school tuition. Your lifestyle has expanded to consume every single dollar you make. You look like royalty on Instagram. But if you stopped working for 6 months, you would lose the house. You are wearing golden handcuffs. You are a highly paid, perfectly comfortable slave to your boss. Level 2, escape velocity. You are worth between $2 and $5 million. This is the millionaire next door. And ironically, you look much poorer than the people at level 1. You stopped caring about looking rich. You drive a Toyota Tacoma or a sleeper Volvo. You wear plain black t-shirts. You reach this level because you live below your means, dumped everything into Vanguard index funds, or quietly built a boring, unsexy business, a plumbing company, a chain of laundromats. But this is the most important level on the entire ladder, because this is the level of FU money. Your passive income now covers your living expenses. You wake up on a Tuesday morning, and you realize you don't actually have to go to work. If your boss yells at you, you can simply smile, stand up, and walk out the door. You have bought back your time. You sleep 8 hours a night. You have dinner with your kids every evening. You aren't flying private. You aren't buying yachts. But you have achieved absolute psychological peace. You are free. Level 3, the mini-empire. You are worth between $10 and $30 million. You probably sold a tech startup, or you scaled a massive real estate portfolio. This is where society stops treating you like a normal citizen. You no longer log into a basic bank account. You have a private wealth manager at Goldman Sachs. They invite you to closed-door networking events. You stop flying commercial entirely. You fly JSX, or you buy a fractional share of a jet through NetJets. You walk onto the tarmac, hand the pilot your bag, and take off 5 minutes later. You own a primary compound in Austin or Miami and a winter house in Park City. You start angel investing. You throw 50 grand at a friend's startup just because you like the pitch. At this level, you realize that your time is worth hundreds of dollars an hour, so you outsource your entire life. You have a personal assistant, a nanny, a landscaper, a private chef who meal preps your week. You never go to a grocery store again. You have arrived. But you are still a relatively small fish in the grand scheme of capital. Level 4, institutional wealth. You are worth $100 to $500 million. Money is no longer a number in an app. It is a physical force. You do not have a financial advisor. You have a family office. This is a private company employing 20 full-time professionals, lawyers, accountants, tax strategists, and investors whose only job on planet Earth is to manage your money and protect your bloodline. You don't fly NetJets anymore. You own a Gulfstream G550. It sits in a private hangar, fully fueled with a crew waiting for your text message. You don't just eat at the Michelin star restaurant. You own the building the restaurant is in. You start playing the global citizenship game. You buy a secondary passport in Malta or Cyprus so you have European Union access. You buy property in New Zealand specifically as a doomsday hedge. If you get into legal trouble, you don't hire a lawyer. Your family office hires an entire floor of a white shoe law firm to drown the opposition in paperwork until they go bankrupt. You spend millions of dollars a year just on physical security. Your home has biometric locks and a panic room. You are untouchable to the average person, but you are still unknown to the world. Level 5, the market mover. You are worth $1 to $5 billion. You are officially on the Forbes list. And the rules of reality begin to bend around you. You don't invest in the stock market, you move the stock market. If you take a massive short position against a company and go on CNBC to talk about it, the stock drops 10% in 5 minutes. You go to the World Economic Forum in Davos. You sit in rooms where the global monetary policy of the next decade is decided over cocktails. You buy a professional sports team, an NBA or Premier League franchise, just so you have something to talk about with the other billionaires at the yacht club. You own a super yacht, 250 feet long. It costs $20 million a year just to keep it floating. It has a submarine. It has a helicopter pad. When you travel, an advance team arrives at your destination 3 days before you do. They sweep the hotel for listening devices. They map out the hospital routes in case of a medical emergency. You are a titan. But there are still a few men who make you look poor. Level 6, the sovereign individual. You are worth $10 to $50 billion. You are no longer a citizen. You are essentially a one-man nation-state. Think Ken Griffin, think Peter Thiel. When you don't like the tax policies of the state you live in, you don't just complain on Twitter. You pack up your entire multi-billion-dollar hedge fund, you move your thousands of employees to Miami, and you single-handedly shift the real estate market of an entire American city. You don't adapt to the law, you rewrite it. You spend hundreds of millions of dollars quietly funding super PACs, placing your preferred candidates in the Senate, and ensuring the tax code favors your specific industries. You buy hundreds of thousands of acres of land. You own more physical territory than some medieval kings. You have direct lines to sitting presidents and prime ministers. When you call, the leader of the free world answers on the first ring, because your companies employ 500,000 people and your supply chains prop up their economy. You fund private military contractors. You fund longevity research. You are literally spending billions of dollars trying to cure the concept of death. Level 7, the architect of reality, $100 billion and above. There are maybe 10 people on Earth at this level. Elon Musk, Bernard Arnault, Jeff Bezos. At this level, you do not live in the world. You build the world. You do not buy physical goods. You buy the future of human history. You decide that humanity needs to be an interplanetary species. So you build the most advanced aerospace company in history, completely embarrassing NASA, and you land reusable rockets on drone ships in the middle of the ocean. You decide you don't like how speech is moderated on the internet, so you liquidate $44 billion in Tesla stock and you buy the world's largest communication platform in cash, just to rewrite the algorithm to your liking. You decide you want a clock that ticks for 10,000 years, so you spend $42 million hollowing out a mountain in Texas to build it, just to leave a permanent mark on the geological record of Earth. Your net worth fluctuates by $10 billion in a single afternoon, and your heart rate doesn't even spike. You are a geopolitical entity. In a global conflict, the Pentagon has to politely ask you to keep your satellite internet active over the battlefield because your private infrastructure is more vital than the military of the United States. You have transcended money. You are playing a video game in God mode. The only limits you have left are the laws of physics, and you are currently spending billions of dollars to try and break those too.